Welcome for our value education class, children. How are you all? Okay, children, our today's topic is clean surroundings. Children, it is very important to always keep your surroundings clean. Okay, now tell me one thing. If your friend gifts you a new pencil in class, you quickly take out a sharpener and sharpen it. Now tell me, what will you do with its shavings? Will you throw them on the floor and dirty the classroom? Or you will collect them and throw it in the dustbin? Yes, you will collect them and throw it in the dustbin. Very good. Now, let's read the story of a prince who learns to do his own work and keep his surroundings clean. The Sage and the Prince. There was a sage who lived many years ago in India. He had his own ashram where many children lived. There was no difference between a poor and a rich man's son for him. All were equal for the sage. He taught all the children to be neat and clean. He taught them to be kind and loving. He felt sad when the children were lazy and did not do their own work. The children loved the sage and always did their work on time. Every child worked hard from morning till evening. They kept the ashram spotlessly clean. Once a prince joined the ashram. He was very proud of himself. He treated the other children badly and did not do any work. He did not even clean his own room. It was the dirtiest room in the ashram. One day, the sage took the prince for a walk in the forest. He showed him some birds making their nests and rabbits digging burrows. They went a little further and saw some kittens playing in the mud. The sage pointed at the dirtiest kitten and said to the prince, "Pick up that kitten and clean it properly." The prince said, "It is so dirty. Please don't ask me to clean it." The sage looked at him and said, "Don't you make the other children clean your dirty utensils and clothes? I thought you wouldn't mind doing this. Doesn't matter. If you don't want to clean it, at least you can sit and play with it." The prince said softly, "But Guruji, the place is so dirty. How can I sit there?" "Of course you can. Your friends also sit and play in your dirty room with you, don't they?" said the sage. The prince felt ashamed of himself. He understood what the sage was trying to say. He said, "Guruji, I am very sorry. I know now how important it is to keep your surroundings clean and do your own work. From today, I will never keep my room and other things dirty." The sage patted his back and they went back to the ashram. So, children, what did you learn from this story? Yes, that we should keep ourselves and our surroundings clean. Okay, now let's solve this exercise. Here we have to write T if the statement is true and F if the statement is false. The sage was a great teacher. True. So you will write T. He treated the rich and the poor differently. False. F. The prince was very proud and lazy. True. So T. The sage asked the prince to play with a clean kitten. False. F. The prince promised the sage that he would keep his surroundings clean. True. So you will write T. Now let's read this poem. In my class. In my class, everything is nice and clean. No bits of paper around, all dirt in the dustbin. In my class, every child is neat and clean, faces bright and shining, hair combed to a silky sheen. Now, you have to tick right for the things that we have to do. We should do it in the class. So, tick the right things to do in class. Work hard and don't be lazy. Yes, so you will tick right. Throw paper around the class. No, wrong. Keep your class nice and clean. Right. So you'll tick. Don't do your work on time. Wrong. Be kind and loving. Right. Now it's the diary time. Fill in your diary using the given words. What is today's date? Okay, so first you will write today's date. I am proud of my class because it is clean and nice. Everyone is always smiling. My teacher is very sweet. What will you do in the given situations? Tick the correct answer. Your classmate is throwing paper cuttings on the floor. What will you do? Will you tell him to pick them up and throw them in the dustbin, or you will just ignore and you are not the one dirtying the class? Yes, you will tell him to pick them up and throw them in the dustbin. Very good. Next, you are eating peanuts in the car while traveling. What will you do with the peels? Will you keep throwing them out of the window, or you will collect them in an empty packet and throw later into the dustbin? Very good. You will collect them in an empty packet and throw it later in the dustbin. You see a man spitting on the road. What will you do? Request him to spit in the washroom or in the dustbin, or you will ignore him and walk away? Very good. We will request him to spit it either in the washroom or in the dustbin. Ashrams were a kind of hostels that existed hundreds of years ago in India. There was no electricity or tap water at that time. Question number 1. What light do you think the students used? Maybe they must be using oil lamps, right? Because there was no electricity. Where did the students go to fetch water for the garden? Yes, wells, or you can write rivers, lakes, ponds. It could be anything. So I have written wells. But if you feel it is lakes, rivers, pond, you can write whatever you feel. Now this question, write 2 more things that you think were different in hostels all those years ago. This is your homework. Whatever you feel was different, must be different from today's scenario. So you have to write that, okay? Now come on, tell me, like always, what are you going to do? Yes, you will watch the video, read the story, complete the notes given, and then you will memorize. Okay? So, bye bye for now. See you in the next class. Have a nice time.